I was going to say into the way, unless, again, never mind, they're just going to go for it anyway. Going to take the, I thought they'd go something like maybe a Tristana, or even if they wanted to go towards the Orianna, but they are just going to take the Yone into the mid lane.
One more in the quiver while Douglas appears mid. Niski, again, mobility flashes, but Video predicts it. As he gets the knock up, he is dead meat. Douglas picks up first blood.
Get into these lane states, but Niski gonna get visited again, but Isma's here.
I mean, again, he's walking towards the jungler. Video's low. There's the flash from the brand, but for Douglas making this a 2v2 might be okay until Video drops down, but Niski might die first. Pop back, Video flashes, gets a kill, but is traded out now, and there's 1 versus 1. Jarvan with Conqueror. I wouldn't fight him, but under turret, a different deal. Everybody
didn't have the, I think he'd used the claw in the lane, so didn't have the fear to try and set himself up, but relevant.
This is going to be a barn burner, isn't it? Ulti it back the right way. The knockup is unstoppable. Photon's getting low. He's got help. That's not fair. It's a 1v1. Leave him alone. Photon is just going to be whacked down. Isma should be taking the kill, but Irrelevant breathe. Vitality are taking it away.
I mean, the fact you get one is super nice, because all you have to do now is deny one on the next rotation of Void Grubs, and you don't get all the Void Mites that can be a pain. You get Dragon on the opposite side, so really nice job getting the gank mid, getting control for Video, and now Video just constantly looking at it right now, leaning bot side to make sure that they can punish this. You're always outnumbered, and you've got ultimate now for Douglas as well, which makes Under the Tower a dangerous place.
I mean, Healy's damage is significant as there's the Fate Sealed. Video jumps in. Isma's just dead. He got poked down as the Pyroclasm goes bouncity, bouncity, bouncity. Video jumps in. He's not needed because Kazi will finish off the rest. Hold might be it. Kazi gets an ulti down. And does that stop that play? Healy walked up. Healy walked up to that play. He flashes. He's still dead. Isma might be a trade. The auto doesn't carry through.
You had your trade. Douglas was going to get these grubs, deny SK getting up to walks down in this case to make sure they can get the dragon. So SK well aware of what they want to achieve here, though. TP coming in.
I don't think they can burst it down. The Enchantress Arrow hits the jungler. He's beefed down. He's destroyed. That call the Forge God means nothing because Photon's in with the blades out. That was a quick engage, but so deadly from Vitality.
And it's the indecisiveness that gets punished by the decisiveness of Vitality, although Hilly...
Hey, all right, Niski gets a kill. The Severing Bolt's good as Kazi's back on in this time with a kill. Doesn't even need that arrow out as with the last of the ulti. They get Niski's flash. It's Photon who pops the Ghost, ready to run after the two. Again, Vitality aren't really scared. They might find something in the aftermath, or they might just get a turret in the side lane with the Yone no one can touch.
And I actually prefer this thought process from Vitality, because at this stage, it's like the only way SK get back into it is big Ornn ultimate into big DOS ultimate into we get wiped in a big team fight. So as you say, yeah, they get 2 team highs on Vitality when they're able to get the ball rolling, and this time they have.
Speaking of which, on the other side, SK, the highs of Isma finally comes out. Big shot.
Fully committed here to the mid lane.
Is after the engage. At least Herald gets a charge in. There we go. The spiraling despairs out, but the arrow finally comes through. Photon zones them off, and a quick breath of fresh air. Isma's dead. A good bubble as X-Kick jumps on him, but look at the Pyroclasm that flies through. Niski's burning as well. Douglas from over the wall flashes instead, and Niski can do nothing. Photon cleans up the rest. And when Brand says burn, it's Douglas who makes the turn.
It's a disaster for SK in that one. Vitality just read them really well. They're like, cool, we're going to continue pushing inside lanes, force you to make tough choices. And SK, as this starts to go on, you just keep getting... Oh, actually, hang on.
Hang on, Culling's out. Hilly's just by himself. That is such a Hylissang way to die. That is just, again, everyone knows that's Hilly.
So my point was to play it slow. Parsi get control over mid lane to lean into bot side. But yeah, this is not it. Now, Photon pulling in towards mid lane, but this is why are you playing this? Vitality!
We do not have a support. There we go, Chain of Corruption, cleansed out immediately, call the Forge God, Irrelevant, beautiful engage. Kazi's now dead. Vitality, no! We just complimented you. Niski won't hit the ultimate in return. Douglas flashed away from it, but SK are low, but maybe not low enough to start the Baron. What are we doing?
Video's TP to bot lane, so that's the tier 2 gone. That was the trade, but SK know that. They're going to immediately turn on towards the Baron. Vitality tried to take the 4 versus 5 and SK punish. Now Vitality have to make a hero play. Can Photon drag Isma out of the pit so Douglas can steal?
I mean, maybe the cannon, the health bar is the only concern, but Isma jumping back in Cataclysm, but look how far away he is. The arrow flies.
It turned into a cafeteria food fight.
True.
And by some miracle, Vitality have now got the Baron. ult for Hilly.
I think it's gone, but it's about getting out, isn't it? Isma, flag and drag, he does get out of it.
Oh, hang on.
Oh, flash. Hits exit kick.
Video?
All right. Oh, he's actually there, isn't he? Oh, no. The support flash hurts. Dots flashing maybe just killed exit kick, and he's down for 40 seconds because of it.
I think Video having that Q3 locked and loaded meant that he was able to follow up. Photon's taking bot lane tower, they're losing top tower. SK are crumbling under Vitality right now, and this first pick Lucian coming back to be bitten. Niski not being able to get control over the mid lane. Nothing for SK went the way they wanted this game.
Not at all. You got to give it towards Douglas. I mean, Douglas feels like he's done so much for the team. Everyone's fed, yes, everyone's now popping off with plays. But Douglas started this, and he sure as well be the one to finish it off as well. This very strong brand sitting topside with the rest of his team, but for now, Chanacross Arrow flies through Kazi, flashes. Niski is just destroyed. Douglas goes golden in the nick of time as Isma has to run for his life, but with those grubs, with the Baron look against the wall, they're just going to die, aren't they? Unstoppable for the time being. Photon, he's lost his tanky stats. Yeah, right. Don't believe that. His X-Kick gets flung back, and Vitality charging in as a 5-man unit through the top side. They've got another inhibitor mid as well. And they've got one more thing on the menu. It's these two turrets standing in their way to open up their playoff run.
Oh, Video!
It's the Giga Flash, isn't it? He jumps in.
Oh my God!
The call is over. Irrelevant sent packing. SK are done in this game. And Vitality in 26.5 minutes show up. Somehow. In some way, Dagda. Sometime.
Played Yone. If I can sit here in half an hour from now and analyze him smurfing in that way and Lee Sin,
wait.
I'm a
Is
happy
this
boy.
actually going to be a Kali top and then Lucian mid into the Lee Sin?
What are we seeing
They're
today,
freaking
guys?
cooking.
Playoffs are crazy. They've been cooking.
Oh, wait.
Now, dropping his blue. Maybe look for a dive for Video, actually.
Using that mid lane priority. However, Sonic Wave does connect in mid, but Video gets hard chunked as he escapes there with a safeguard. But
Flash
Isma,
over.
you're
Flash
right,
over.
Dagda, wait for it. All it takes is a flash, a bramble smash, a twisted advance, and there it is. Even under the turret, it matters not. Niski gets the kill, takes a shot.
He had the counter pick, but it's been a bit of a disaster, and now Hilly.
Well, in with the punch, in with a hit. The Shield of Daybreak comes through as well. This might be good for Kazi. X-Kick going to go into the bailout, but he's still rendered clean. Now it's DOS left by himself with a hand.
Yeah, not going to follow that one.
And what a difference this early game is, as I say that, as Endplay connects again. Hilly with a good route in, but it's immediately cleansed. X-Kick has to flash away. There goes a Claw Summoner. Isma now hightailing at the bot. You're like, man, there's trouble in the bottom lane. I need to be there. But look who's already in charge. Douglas now holding behind the enemy wave. Dots and X-Kick getting the Season 14 treatment as Vitality might get caught out on the way back. Hilly's over the wall. Here's the Zenith Blade. Wait for it. Shield of Daybreak's already there. He lands on top of Niski, but he's healthy enough and he's doing so much damage. But in with a penny, in with a pound, and Douglas gets a sear, sends him to the ground. Vitality with another onto the Lee Sin as big as Kazi. Might add one more to the list. Isma's got so many spears in him, and he's rendered it at pretty much half health. And the Sonic Wave flies through. Video, kicks him in the shin. Oh, it hurts. It's like running into a bed in the middle of the night. You got nowhere to go. You fall down.
Kill Callista can carry the game.
Well, 3-kill Callista. Lucian maybe with some more resources as well. The all-out in the meanwhile on the top side, as you said, it's all about these soul laners as Irrelevant hides out, but Photon won't find the Q. You need it again. Out with the execution. Irrelevant. Sure, it gets back in. Oh my God!
Going to be able to finish him off, but getting that Shuriken Flit hit. Now on bot side, Hilly hasn't hit 6.
We're fighting again. Handshake, Chain of Corruption. Kazi might get beaten out. One more hit and he's down. It's a shutdown. Over to X-Kick in the meantime. The Zenith Blade for the re-engage. And with the bailout, they need a trade-off, but it's not in time. Hilly dies under the turret. In the meanwhile, as Douglas is running for his life. Dagda's friend now getting a stun up as the Pyroclasm's there. The kite away from the handshake. Douglas with the culling a little bit more. It needed a silver boy.
I mean, SK, as this was all going on, got 2 of the Void groups, so Vitality again denying one of those Void groups.
Okay.
We still have Dragon on that bottom. I don't think he can really dive Irrelevant here. He's got that Shroud.
Sonic Wave, hang on to Niski, waiting for that relentless pursuit to get him out of the way. There's a Tempest cripple. Niski does have himself a Kraken versus no item from VTO. No, again, item differential. Rylai's Crystal Scepter on the almost 100% kill participation. Brand as Isma's coming towards mid. Video went in deep. There's a twisted advance. Bramble smash back and shoot to kill is Niski. who punishes this over-aggressive Lee Sin, but meanwhile, in the bottom lane, DOS is about to be fresh meat to Kazi. There's one kill onto Exakick. The Seer not connecting, but the Pillar of Flame and Pyroclasm becomes an overkill, becomes classic seeing a Cassante do anything successful, of course. Niski, there we go, Zenith Blade, Solar Flare, can't move. Video takes it.
Nice job from Hillesang to just hide out of vision to catch out Niski. They get to make sure they can secure this as well.
Remember backstage when we had our draws and I was like, why wouldn't BDS pick Vitality? Is this why? Did they know? Did they know as the teleport comes through SK? Did they know? As they jump on in, it's Photon who gets low, but he ultis out straight away. Irrelevant with the perfect execution, builds space, but Isma and Niski are both here. And that's a dead Photon. A kill over to Niski. It's not all bad news for SK just yet, while VTO trades off bot lane tower.
It's not great though, because they're going to lose bot, and now you just rotate mid with Rift Herald and they get mid tower. So
oh no!
It's not great news. It's kind of like an addendum at the bottom that says, hey mom, I did good today. I did this thing. And she's like, yeah, but is it really that?
That's not personal experience. Teleport coming through.
Let's get in the digs here today.
This turret's going to go down. Niski just needs a hit, but Photon at least getting some good damage. Hang on a minute. How far does this go? All out there, culling as well. Maybe it's good for Niski. Photon gets out. If only just flashed on as well. Auto down. That's a one item. Lucian Kraken does a lot of work when you don't have any armor as Niski jumps into Douglas melee range, but the Pyroclasm also doing work. That passive, DOS has to split the build while X-Kick comes in and kills Douglas. A couple of mistakes coming through while SK now the bottom side have found Hilly. The fan strike out, the execution up to Daisy. And with all the tools to pick apart X-Kick, he's by himself, he flashes away. You can't do that. With Nature's Grasp out from Isma as well, it buys them time to get the dragon. Leave the scuttle, I'd say, with Chains Corruption coming through as well. You mentioned, Dagda, Irrelevance coming from the top side, but Vitality feels like they're aware of this. Photon walks up, zones them out. Dragon's taken. They're lucky to be alive, but VDO Sonic Wave not connecting's not good, but a face call from Kazi sends Hilly right into the middle. Solar Flare onto DOS is big as well, but that ulti's huge, but no one's there to capitalize. Vitality running forward, the kick away onto Isma. Sets up for Kazi to do the damage. Is Irrelevant. Is in the middle of everyone. But up he goes. Niski now by himself. It's a flash from Hilly to try and get the Zenith Blade. Niski's running on borrowed time, it feels, as Kazi has the movement speed. Thank you very much. It's Niski's time to die. Another kill.
It's going to be a difficult one for SK if they want to steal Photon playing bodyguard.
No vision till now. There's the control war. The Shuriken flip in. Nature's Grasp coming through from Isma, but he's nowhere near the pit. And down the Baron goes. Photon absorbed all the damage in the meanwhile. But
Irrelevant to make sure that they're backing off. You can see a lot of members of SK starting to move into this top side of the map. They're waiting for BDO to try and crash this wave in the bot side to create a lot of that split pressure. So at the moment, Vitality just need to play it slow.
Yep.
Isma wants to speed it up though.
Nature's Grasp is out. Dagger's not going to be caught. It's Photon. It's a Cassante. He's unstoppable. Irrelevant jumps on in, but that's the Shuriken flip out. He gets flipped back. Seer not connecting, but the all-out's there. They commit. Pyroclasm's out for the passive, and Irrelevant gets burned to death. Vitality open up the top side. Bot pushing in. That was a crucial mistake that could have just lost them the series, but now, hang on, shut down over to Niski. We're doing it again. Vitality caught maybe overstepping. Golden is Douglas buying the nick of time, but even though he dies, even though Niski gets double shut down, mid is dead, base is broken, Video's split pushing. I'm gonna find out how true that is.
They're just pushing top and mid though. They're just like, cool, you take it. Right, 3 dragons, but we're probably not going to end this by the time it gets to a 4th because a lot of minions on that top side. You're going to look hard to break up. They're just trying to delay the backs.
They are indeed. It's turning into a fight. Meanwhile, Hillesang getting poked out as well. It's Niski and DOS. Hostile takeover flies through, doesn't connect. Douglas then re-engages with the Pyroclasm in this choke. It's going to be a disaster. As Vitality getting teleported on by Irrelevant in the base. They've done the damage. As now for Vitality, they've still got a healthy jungle. 80 carries Irrelevant, goes into his death. Sonic Wave flashing forward. Video with a double kill. Safeguards over the wall. That's my Lee Sin, baby, as VTO makes it look clinical.
And it's a DOS delivery system onto Exakick. Vitality looking to go up against BDS, a rematch from their playoffs in spring.
It's crazy that Vitality came out of the woodwork today against SK, and it's not an upset of a game 1. It's a clinical 2-game series. A date with Destiny, a date with BDS. And SK, I'm not even sure they know what happened. in a series that went in for under 50 minutes.
Here in a really convincing way against SK Gaming and Broxa. I think they heard you backstage. I think it's the cleanest we had Vitality so far.
Yeah, for sure. I was really proud of them. They made some beautiful moves in the early game. Although I do have to say, SK gave them a helping hand in the mid game.
I'm just disappointed. This wasn't what I was promised. I was promised, well, I got a lot of kills, but I was promised a lot more back and forth, a lot more 40-minute bangers. I wanted Vitality KC, I wanted Vitality Team of Reddit. I didn't get that. I just got clean League of Legends.
It's crazy what 1 week can do to a team training, new patch and everything, and all it can change. And I feel like everything started from bot lane plays. Beautifully set up by Vitality, but also the reception on the SK side was not the cleanest I've seen from them.
No, but I think they set them up from the get-go to set that bot lane ahead, already from the split map situation where Dacklers can just clean out the bot side and have so much pressure. It's obviously not when they hit their diving here, but they've already gotten a good lead with the pressure they have in bot side. VIT's already gotten first bot, so they have really good first move from mid lane where they're just allowed to dive them down here. And there's no one to really help them at this point. It's just great map movement from Vitality.
Yeah, I think time and time again, really, you know, this was the first of many SK plays that went south. Initially, we saw the dive from Vitality, which was greatly executed, but after that, it felt like SK just fell apart and kind of lost track of what they wanted to do within the game.
And but it's not like Vitality didn't have a few where it just dropped the ball a little bit, but I think in comparison to the expectations we had coming into today, obviously today was way better than it used to be. We were shaking a little bit at some point where it was like, oh, did he just get caught here? Did VT TP down bottom lane? Are they giving Baron over to SK? But in the end, it still worked out for Vitality.
And I feel like they drafted everything that they needed, maybe for the game plan they had, of course. And I think of VT, of course, in the mid lane here with an amazing game. And I feel like this kid, when he's going to be set up for success, when he's going to have some champions that he likes, and when the team is going to give him enough space, he's going to pop off the way he did today. And for me, this performance on Yone, maybe you want to add the champion in the bad phase for next game.
I was a little bit worried about that draft because it's so hard to execute, so highly mechanical, but like you said, Vicio, clear main character of that game, and if he continues playing like that, then, well, I would be worried if I was Niski. That was really impressive.
But I really loved how there was a push and pull coming out from Vito as well, in terms of he wants the resources in the beginning, he gets the kills, and he makes the most of it, and he's not just sitting by himself, he's actually actively roaming on a Yone. Not only that, the CS he had in this game, the amount of gold he had compared to Niski by the end of the game, it was absolutely ridiculous. I think by 25 minutes, he was sitting at 330 CS. I mean, obviously that comes from taking enemy jungle camps as well, maybe even some on your own, but that was absolutely baffling to look at in a melee versus range matchup.
It feels to me like he's the kind of player who's going to have an emotional response to the games that he plays, and when he's going to have a pop-off game like this can set the tone for the rest of the series. We'll see, of course, in Game 2 what happens for him, but when I see the way they played this fight and the confidence with which he goes through the backline, that's what I want to see from a carry like this.
So when I spoke about Vitality punishing SK's mistakes, this is a clear one, because SK overextends for the mid lane turret, but Vitality is there immediately ready to punish. Isma overextends, Exakick dashes forward. The moment those mistakes happen, they're just dead on the spot. Vitality, they were so quick at pulling the trigger and taking them down.
Yeah, it just felt like SK wasn't really ready for the first game coming into the stage here. Like, bot lane didn't really get as many resources as they would have liked. Like, granted, yeah, there was some map split, so it was a bit difficult for Isma in the beginning to come down initially. But then even after that, it felt like they were just very over-eager in terms of making plays on a broader map and not really being ready to cover where it really needed to cover. So I think, like, not necessarily lazy, but it felt like they weren't reading the map as well as they should have in terms of where Vitality was applying their pressure on the map.
I also think from a draft point of view, the way SK approached it was entirely wrong. Like, we look for the Lucian Nami again. Lucian has been a complete disaster in Europe, the entire split. And on top of that, Isma, he didn't show up in this game at the very least. And it's what we talked about in the pre-show. If Niski and Isma can take over the game and start pushing to side lanes, everything's going to be great. But if the mid-jungle synergy is not there, if they cannot push the game forward, it's a tough time for sides.
I have a question for you guys. With the bot lane that we see this, the Lucian Nami, with Exakick being the only first player in Europe making the combo work and being really proud about it. could it be that they had the wrong read on the patch or not adapted like quick enough? Because for me, that's not the kind of champions that I want to see on this patch, GB.
I mean, I don't know Exakick personally, right? But first picking Illusion here shows a lot of confidence. Maybe some would even say overconfidence going into it, because it is not the same champion without the double blood song or double support item as well to come through. Obviously can still be picked, but it's not nearly as strong as it was before. And just straight up going for the Lucian Nami, not having an early game plan to play through except the Jarvan. As soon as that messed up, you're just looking at an on, you're looking at away in the mid lane as well, and it just becomes super difficult to play it. So yeah, I think they need to be on a different AD carry for sure.
I think it was an interesting approach because Exakick was speed running for sure. He thought he was speed running to a victory screen, but he's actually just trying to send his team home as soon as possible.
Oh my god.
First picking Lucian, you gotta be kidding me, bro.
Brutal Brox that we have on the day. Please be like this more often. I love it. We're gonna have SK on the red side. So change of approach here, maybe for them. Different prior picks, different counter picks as well. What do you want to see from them here on this red side?
I want to see them drafting like actual standard champions. Why are you giving up Varus? Or not only, like, you're not even giving it up, you're giving them the freest lane of all time, picking Lucian Nami. They couldn't lane from any point versus the Varus Ashe. And I think in League, when you draft, sure, comfort is nice, but you need to keep in mind what the opponents want to play and what their strengths and weaknesses are. And Kasi has been incredible on Varus. You can't give it to him this freely.
Yeah, and you know, I want to see Irrelevant on something different.